I usually start the recording after all the loading is finished, but whatever. Anyway, I don't feel like doing my weeklies just yet, so I'm gonna go play Yori some more, and then I'll do my weeklies, and hopefully other things. Ah. Is there a bad apple but Resident Evil? Oh my god.
We found Leon. I'll go and have a look around. Drive, kids, go, just drive. Let the president fuck her, she dead.
What?
New Sonic hard subs.
Like the amiibo scanning is worse in this game. Well, like it's so
Damn it, why's
easy
my
to
tablet
just,
so
like,
dummy thick?
stick the
Why
amiibo
do I have to
on,
pick the
and
dummy
then
thick?
it just will never scan. Like you missed
Bigger isn't
the
always better.
right time to put it onto the controller.
Bigger is never better.
Honestly, that would have been fine if the amiibo scanned quickly. Like a third try amiibo to get two.
Okay, it's alright.
Hang on.
And 19 attempts, one has made it past Bogsian.
How many... I can make more shotgun shells already. Let's go then. Be the bum bum.
Relatable. Do you think Sub 46 is coming this stream? Let's see.
Hopefully I can make flash.
I sure hope so.
Flashes soon. Dazzle fruits. Dazzled are you, stranger? Our craftsmanship demands no less. Right, I don't believe enemies show up until after the ladies show up.
Sure is quiet.
Yo, how's it going, Rebecca?
I can't just run and ignore them, but I want to murder them.
Looks like I need something.
It's really good
May
luck.
as well
I
empty
will
out my frags.
try my best to get to the luck portion of the run. I've been struggling.
Anyone else I should know about? Ah, there's someone.
I want to say I made it past Ascend like 3 times today.
Maybe I can.
The whole amiibo thing seemed gimmicky. I mean, like,
That
it's
is
a
indeed what they
part
are.
of the game that's a mechanic. It's, and it's allowed in the rules, so I'll do it.
I hate that it's allowed in the
Not
rules.
particularly.
Speedrunning in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is pay to win. Whoop.
If you don't get a sub 46 this stream, you're gonna make me do a soul link? Oh. Okay, maybe a strategic non sub 46. It's essentially just getting a speed up ingredient faster. So yeah, you do have to cook it, but it's faster than like picking up a frog. How's Cog Soup treating me? It's going better than yesterday, for sure. But these wing drops
I believe
are
it's in the second.
bad. Oh, have a good night, Duggo.
Hey, there's
You're
another
watching.
yellow herb. Never mind, it is in the first floor. Yeah, so I wasted
like
my
if
money
you,
getting that yellow herb.
Don't have the amiibos for the Fleet Lotus seeds, you would want to either pick up frogs
Won't open.
and a monster part to
How
get
to get
a
inside
seed
and
of a
trigger
Windsor,
the
or
ladies
you
again?
would pick up mushrooms later on GSI. Yeah, the Twitch viewing experience is quite different from the YouTube viewing experience. Oh, I see it. Yeah, I didn't have the camera looking right. Doing old cog jump. Honestly, yeah, that's fair. It's only 40 seconds.
No good.
Ah, so that's why there's an Ashley hole there as well.
But yeah, I don't think the ascend cutscene takes less time than just ascending without it. It feels like it's the same length, so I might be wrong about that, but
This might end up being the place you enter from.
Or like it feels like it's faster, but I don't think it is.
I'm gonna go back and save before facing the ladies.
9 SW6 to the prime.
Because wouldn't want to deal with the stealthing again.
Someone
Way
must
too
have
slow.
done it, yeah. Thank you, Landon.
Rifle ammo. Sure. Alright. Time to save, scum.
I think by the time sub 45 happens, there will be a new route. I want to say no. But there's no real reason for that. I do think that sub 45 could be a thing with current strats. You just need to do, or like currently known strats. So there are faster things on GSI, probably that most any percent runners don't do. You'll see them in like
make it through
GSI
and just hand them in
runs.
submachine.
So maybe
Why not?
just implement
Since
some
I
of
have so many
those
ammo
and
for
see
that.
some time. Make it actually
Still.
doable to get sub 45. Warning, Rena.
They'll never expect to look for you here, Ashley.
What? Okay.
Trust me.
Hopefully they can change cog skip. I don't.
You know, running up and
I don't
doing the
imagine that would
backflips to dodge is honestly totally unnecessary there, Leon. But he does it anyway because he loves being extra.
Didn't realize that was yours. Flatter. I'm a one-legged type of guy.
He'll break down
Yeah,
that door
do
soon enough.
cog skip. It seems like it.
Well, you just showed up out of nowhere.
Is a faster cycle possible here? With speed 3, yeah. Barring that,
Wow.
I don't think there's been a way to get the early cycle. Speed 2 can do it if you have a bow and arrow, but it's recognized.
Shit. That's a dead end. Oh, come on. Through the fire. can... No! I didn't mean to! No, Ashley, don't! Don't! Holy shit, Ashley, how the... Can you please be smarter? I know this is my fault! Not too late. I think, I hope.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wait here.
Okay.
Finally, like a good segment. I did miss one of the things, so I had to do an extra two, but actually landed close to the construct from the shield jump. That's good.
Oh, here we go. Oh, nice. Sorry about your sister. Except I'm not.
Stay down, alright?
Oh, there's still people left. All off.
You're serious.
No, you coming out of your own volition means everyone's dead now.
When you kill the frog, look mad.
That was
The
costly.
frog is jumping into the explosion.
It'll take a while before I can build up my resources back up again.
It's not my fault.
That's not my
Hello,
fault.
Subway Tender. Reds have been alright today. Would you eat a frog?
Would you smooch a ghost?
No. No, I wouldn't.
Heck yeah, heck yeah, heck yeah, or heck yeah. Money.
What if you were a frog? What do you mean?
It should be safe past here, so... From what I remember, I hope. I should be fine not
Would we
saving.
oh, would we be friends selling?
Okay. I guess.
I feel like if I just...
Back there. Seems this isn't your first time running from creeps.
I can't tell if that's meant to be a compliment.
Oh no.
I mean, like, look,
What was that notif about? I'm gonna check through my mobile. It won't show up on my mobile. Hold on. Seriously, why does mobile Discord suck so much? Oh, it's a path to no. It's path to nowhere. God damn it. Oh. Horny Stargazer is the banner right now for the Discord. It's server news. Gosh darn it. I am preview enabled for Discord. Or not Discord, OBS. My bad. Let me disable that. Bam bing bam bom. Hold on. Yeah, honestly, I am pretty impressed. I did something stupid, but she was able to handle herself anyhow. In spite of my distinct stupidity. Anyway, I'm going to let go of a few shotgun shells because I don't have anything else. Yeah, it's time for the boss fight with Big Cheese almost. TFT ammo? Oh, flash grenade. Lovely. Don't need to craft. Don't need to craft one. Fair point to that. Probably when you're running away. It's probably to make it so running away is a little harder. From the sexy ladies. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oppa Gangnam Style. I'm sorry. I'd love to know the Uh-oh.
Alright, come on.
This is the running away scene.
Faster. Hurry!
Why do I have to be such an idiot? Anything here? A flash grenade. Alright.
Do not enter.
Come on.
Don't worry about them.
Ah!
Shit, my body armor. This way.
This way. Okay.
You okay?
I'm stuck.
We need to go. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm good.
Then run. Close one.
I wonder, can you like shoot down Sadler there and then a different cutscene will play where he gives up instead rather than us just running away? Or is he just set to have infinite health and you have no choice but to run away?
You're the one he wants. If we see
Okay,
him,
thank fuck.
you run.
What about you?
I'll do my job.
If I fucking died there and had to redo the fight against the ladies. Well, I have 2 flash grenades, so... no need to craft this anymore. Oh, no knives to make more bolts out of. And more than 2 flash grenades is pretty overkill. Pray for a bonus? Fuck yeah! The TMP loves me. And I love it too. Whoa, that's a lot of resources.
Oh, nothing but the finest ways.
Oh, nothing but the finest whiz. Let me go loot the rest of the place. apparently I can have up to 120. That's 2 reloads worth if I max out my...
Take a look. Something's bound to catch. It's your eye. Welcome.
Welcome.
Well then.
Look at those, he's even got the grenades and stuff. Why won't you let me buy them off of you? You ass. Oh yeah, the chalice.
Next time then.
I don't think that's worth it.
Welcome. Ooh, what you buying?
Oh,
Your
yeah, I think
valuables won't do
I
you
can sell
much
that
good,
now.
Greg.
Right.
Stranger. Ooh, I'll pay a pretty penny for that. Well then, what can I do you for? Good luck to you, stranger. Crossing your T's, dotting your I's, that's the way to be. Molding a weapon to suit your specific needs. Oh, it's a thing of beauty, isn't it?
Why don't I max out the knives? Krauser will be more efficient to go for the double attack power. The other one doesn't need the attack speed. I'll need his durability so I can
This
defend
kind
with
of
it.
work is about finesse, stranger. Little bit goes a long way. You'll see. If you want a fighting chance out there, you best tune up your kit. See how that feels, mate.
Fella like yourself
don't
should
get
be able to
yourself
notice the
killed
difference
now.
right away. This should be fine. Alright, here we go.
Leon!
Did I bring Krauser's knife with me? Yes. Fuck. forgot to change my stuff. Whatever. Fuck. Didn't drop down fast enough. Fuck. Oh, really? Apparently just unloading all your TMP is a good strategy to kill Mendes, but I don't want to do that.
I mean, like what? How would I keep in touch? Yo, VPC, thank you for the prime. Okay, if I knew, then yeah, you could be a little frog guy on my desk. If I saw a witch turn you into a frog, okay, then that's completely different. Hello, Jacoby. Finally, a good segment. Thank you, James T.
How much is the chance anyway? I'd love to know.
Quality, my strong cafe, gum gum.
I don't remember ever watching this.
Hello, I am Rain Muhat.
I should have known you were one of the ones.
fuck it, it's worth a try.
A little loud and thanks for the good luck. Is your favorite part of the run? Yeah, I think it is for a lot of people. It's just so satisfying.
Sure.
That's a good segment right there.
Guess your tap dancing days are over.
Oh, nice. Oh, really? Oh my god, the lag. Oh, sure. There's slaves there now.
Nimble son of a bitch.
Yeah, that was almost a goal. 0.3 off. Timer curse is so real. Yeah, it's true.
I should probably heal.
Hey, watch where you're swinging those things. Running out of options, huh?
So it's China, but they still do one time zone? Wait, is that true? Yeah. Whoa. That is surprising. Your state has 2 time zones. What? Russia has 7. But
There we
all,
go.
all this talk about time zones, yeah.
Depending on my accuracy, I might reload
As always,
the
gotta
fight.
say, West Coast, best coast, PST is the only real one.
It wasn't my best.
Leon!
Goes of oatmeal. Yeah. Luck.
Give my regards to your guard.
Or a 6, that's good.
This fire's bound to catch their attention. Let's keep moving.
Leon? I'm not gonna turn into one head, right?
I won't let that happen. I promise.
Well, you know what they say about beggars.
How does this always happen? Dude, what what am I doing wrong?
Can't reload the gun anymore.
I get like a weird wing drop where it drops to the right. I think it's because I'm like maybe facing the camera, or like Link's position is a little too far left. Honestly, that works. It's fine. Still got the shield jump in. Hello, Genisar. Ruining your sleep schedule. Well,
Oh, you know what? Let me try
sleep is for
increasing
the
the
weak
drop rate
anyway.
for handgun ammo. That might be fun. Yeah, I'll do
Low deal.
resources R first. I want more snipers and stuff.
Nine AM. That is when a lot of people have already woken up.
I have 3 flash grenades.
Like, not just the super early risers.
Yikes. You know what?
Yeah. 149, not bad.
I'll deal with this.
You know, it could be better. But...
Whoa! Whoa! Duping on a glider, that's the strat now? Nowadays. Hyper efficiency, but also risky. Whew. Why is the Magnum the default?
Hola, Luis here. You guys still around? Hola, Luis here.
I want to go home.
Perfect, because I have a present I want to give you. Medicine that will help to suppress the progress of your problem.
Where do we go?
Let's see. Come to the courtyard inside of the castle. We can meet up there. Ciao.
All right, Ashley. Luis just said.
I got it. Guess we better get going.
Oh, the crows. No, damn it. I let them get away. I'm so stupid. Actually, yeah, I should go for handguns first before I can focus on the other guns that I want.
Welcome. I've got something new for you. A deal well struck. Got a selection of good things on
This is
sale.
an investment.
All kinds of trinkets at this clown's castle. And
Ah,
come back anytime.
finally, I used for JJ.
Welcome. Ooh, what you buying? Stocking up while you can. Why? Better to be over prepared. Am I right?
As of recently, yeah, that is indeed being the case.
Give that the care it deserves, mate. That's good work, if I do say so myself. Your weapons are in good hands, mate. I'll see you right. Got a selection. Pleasant travels.
crossbows. Something tells me they don't want to be friends. Quicker, it's gotta be through that gate.
So I lost 10 seconds.
Don't think our hosts are gonna roll out the red carpet. What is that? Guessing it's not for decoration. Those just keep getting better.
Can I snipe them? No, I don't think so. And it's not gonna be worth it anyway.
Keep your voice down.
Oh, damn. One was all it took.
Doable. This is doable, for sure.
Yes, sir. Alright, now this is a semi-viable choice again. Enter.
little scary, but not really that scary. I used to get hit on purpose. Back when I took wound damage from the final clip, I used to get hit on purpose, and like my gold only improved by a couple seconds. Like not getting hit by that. There it is.
Knock knock. Who's there?
Maybe I should bother with putting Resident Evil back to program plus rather than dealing with all this bullcrap. Well, I'll do that next time. For now, I'll just continue dealing with being like this. Motherfucker. A dead thing, that's what. Damn, that's a better last time. Now let me go back to the merchant. Punisher isn't actually useful yet.
Take a look. Something's bound to catch your eye.
I'll keep it handy for now. Oh, I should save. Gun rank with fun for a reason, stranger. Still not sure about the big cheese fight, or Mendes, I believe, as he's called now.
With fun for a reason, stranger.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll load it with 2 bullets. Just because.
Muerte!
I believe these guys can't respawn into the crazy guys, unlike the villagers. The cultists can't do that. They turn into other much more terrible shit though. These freaking idiots.
I guess this is their idea of a warm welcome. Next.
Yep, there it is.
Ashley! You okay?
Yeah.
I have my attaché case. There's no way to tell, but I'm pretty sure it is supposed to be the increased handgun. Never mind. Shit. Where's the catapult coming from? I'll get all the treasure and stuff after I make sure the area is completely safe. Nice. Ammo earned is resource resources saved.
Ashley!
Oh, come on, Ashley.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I guess I can go get this right now, and this.
Ashley! You hurt?
No, I'm okay.
Yeah, keep going for Ashley. It just gives me a free instant kill. Idiots.
Firing again! It's open! Go!
Okay.
Oh, really? Wait, what?
You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Still a guy left. I thought I shot it. There you go. Jeez. Oh no, not this again. I gotta get this treasure again and it's gonna suck. Maybe you should make more attachable mines just in case. Let's just proceed for now. Blue medallion. There's a blue medallion quest actually. Where's the remaining two? Oh, I didn't mean to reload. Dang it.
Don't leave me. Wow. Look at this place. I mean, it's old, but...
So that's a request done and dusted.
This might at least put you one step closer. Secret messages are a classic bit of spy technology, but even when you use the message command, that isn't always secure. So, if that's the case, let's turn to invisible ink. That's why it's known as nether hyphae. Now, laid out on the ground, these don't look like much, but give your friend a map, and now it's a hidden message. No matter where you go in the world, you got yourself a private messaging app, and better yet, the server mods will be none the wiser. Sometimes in Minecraft, it can be easy to forget that your actions have consequences. So, to give your friend a quick refresher course, then how about we design a trap with that karma in mind? Now, I don't know about you, but on my world, exposed target blocks are a rare sight, meaning that as soon as someone sees one, you can guarantee that an arrow is going straight for the center. But this time, instead of a bullseye, they'll be treated in Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And in this case, that reaction is a poison arrow headed straight for their torso. Is it cruel? Well, it's hard to say they didn't ask for it. Maybe now they'll think twice before they act. Powered rails are a lot of fun to ride around in Minecraft. But if you don't have a lot of gold and redstone, they are pretty costly. So if instead you're looking for the poor player's option, then there's no reason you shouldn't put a saddled pig right in a minecart. Just hop on the back of one of these things, and soon enough you're going to be putting pork power to use. Getting you going just about as fast as powered minecart rails anyway, making this a pretty solid way to get around, even if it is a little silly looking. But who knows, maybe that's just another plus. It's just depending on how you see it. Just make sure you're ready to put in the time to learn how to use one of these things. Stop building your cobblestone generators like this, or rather, build it like this. As you'll notice, by using a waterlogged stair instead of a water source block, you get a few benefits. Namely, you can't accidentally create obsidian, since the water doesn't flow out of the back of the stair. And even though this has been marked on the bug tracker, it's been open for years, so I'm not that worried about it getting patched soon, if at all. Nobody likes waiting. Whether it's waiting in line, waiting for files to download, or a video to buffer, nobody likes their time wasted. Which largely makes nether portals a pain to deal with. In survival mode, not only do you have to wait for the whole sickness animation to play out, but then you've also got to let an entire other dimension load on the other side. It's not exactly speedy, to say the least. But if you got some items, you might be able to cut that down. You
The
see,
Punisher
by using
will become
nether portal
irrelevant
chunk
again
loading, all it takes
once
is
I
throwing
get
an
the
item to the other
LE5
side,
exclusive.
and all of a sudden, it'll do all of the loading for you. So, going forward, maybe take the time to hit the Q key. Might just save you some down the road. Enemy cramming is an often forgotten rule of Minecraft. For those who don't know, the idea is that if you get more than a set amount of mobs in a 1x1 spot, then the game is going to apply steady damage until that number drops below the threshold. But unless you're doing some insane breeding on your cows and sheep, most of us don't even brush up against this. Though it could be surprisingly useful, particularly through minecarts. In this example, we've got a whole bunch of hopper minecarts that can fully squish the nether star out of a wither. I'm being serious, even one of the biggest bosses of the game can get hopelessly crushed by the limitation, proving that sometimes the greatest weapon is just some well-kept guidelines. Minecraft staircases should be straightforward, but as we've shown in the past, there are plenty of weird staircases that we can put to use in our worlds. And this is no
heavy
different.
grenades
What
still
might look
use
like
the
a
rare
random mix of blocks and
ones.
foodstuffs
Dang it.
is actually the fastest walkable staircase in the game. The truth is that the way that these hitboxes are laid out, it's just so that we can stand in the middle and climb these staircases seamlessly. And sure, a proper spiral staircase would look much nicer, but if you want the speed to climb up to your mountain, it's hard to beat. Horses aren't that popular for travel, which is fair, because they're quickly outclassed late game, but they might still have one thing going for them. See, in the Bedrock version, we're able to place blocks under us in a speed bridge like so, but what's better still is that this even works on horseback, meaning with the right speed, you can even speed bridge on a horse, which is wild to see. And even if it isn't as practical as an elytra boost, I've got to admit that this is a lot of fun to mess around with. So if you're looking to bring your items across the gorge, maybe just grab a pack mule and do the trek like so. Here's why you should break your end portal. See, by using this trick, we can smash the end portal frames and turn our portal into a fully functioning duplication machine. And really, this isn't just for sand, but it'll work with any gravity-affected block. So if you need a bunch of concrete powder, gravel, or whatever, this works quite well. Just make sure you have a collection system on the other end. Otherwise, it'll be a mess when you go through. TNT duplication machines are a great thing, but they are a glitch, meaning that eventually Mojang plans to remove them. And when that happens, it's going to be a lot harder to explode things in the overworld. But there might just be a new avenue to future-proof our Big Bang bombs. While a lack of legitimate sand farms makes it tough to get renewable TNT, respawn anchors are a different story. Yeah, thanks to piglin bartering and witch farms, they're farmable, albeit a little complicated. But the trade-off for that hard work is a much larger explosion. So whether you're trying to excavate a mountain or take care of one of your enemies on the server, these might just be your next demolition dream. Here's how to wall jump in vanilla Minecraft. See, with a little bit of skill and good timing, you can jump and place powdered snow underneath you and use that to climb up a wall. It does take a bit to learn, but once you got that down, you'll be scaling walls left, right, and center, all without leaving any evidence behind. Instead of using full glass blocks to change the color of your beacons, try using a glass pane instead. The way that it is, a glass pane fits exactly inside the beam of the beacon, leaving you with a seamless color change. And what's more, the color changing in the Java edition is additive, so you can keep adding on those different colored panes and make colors that aren't even a part of the original 16 that were given, which will allow you to create some of the crazy color palettes that you see on Reddit. And you can do it all for cheaper than you would with a full block of glass. Anyone who's ever messed around with a mob farm knows this problem. Because after all, even though it is great to have the mobs up on the spawning platform, we do eventually want to get them down to, well, their inevitable demise. And in a lot of cases, water buckets work great for that. Except if you're in the nether. See, in that dimension, we gotta get a bit more creative. And luckily, gas sweepers are just the thing for that. As it turns out, the large hitbox of a ghast is perfect to just sweep other mobs off the spawning platform. So if you're willing to get the hands, arms, feet, and legs of this big thing inside the vehicle at all times, this is definitely the way you can make your mob farms in the nether. When you're idling at a farm in Minecraft, there's not a lot to do. I mean, most of us would just go off and do something away from the screen, but if that's out of the question for you, you'll have to find some other way to be productive. Now Gotta start, get out a book and quill. And no, this isn't to take notes or anything. That book's actually our project. See, the way that Minecraft scrolls through different pages, it's actually possible, in some weird way, to make flipbook animations in the game. Is it limited? Sure, but remember, someone remade Star Wars in ASCII art, so the possibility's pretty high. So if you're gonna be killing the time anyway, then you might as well make yourself a magnum opus. Redstone timers can be a bit complex to build, and while sure, there are comparably simpler options, like hopper clocks and such, if you're really looking to make a no-brainer redstone clock, then this is a candidate. As you'll see, our solution here is gravity, and a violation of the Geneva Convention. By having a mob stand on top of some turtle eggs, there's a set amount of time before they crack. So, given that, there is a theory that you could force some kind of timer using turtle eggs. Is it immoral? I guess it doesn't seem the nicest, but if you're really looking for a timer that's light on redstone, this does do the trick. So, maybe just keep this behind closed doors, and don't let your visitors know how the sausage gets made, alright? Stop using fireworks for your light trap. Instead, try a dolphin. No joke, if we take after this user's example, all we have to do is attach a lead to a dolphin, start swimming in the ocean, and then once we build up enough speed with the dolphin's grace potion effect, we can go straight from swimming right up into launching into the sky. And while that's ridiculous enough on its own, it's funny to realize that we're not the only one that takes flight. So make sure that you and your dolphin buddy landed somewhere safe. Shields are a very useful tool, but once you're holding one of these, speed is the last thing on your mind. Though, the Bedrock Edition might have an interesting solution for that. Here, when your friend holds a shield, we can punch them multiple times and still get the knockback, which has led some of the community to discover a technique like this. Here, we can alternate shield usage between the two players and essentially create a ladder of sorts. No joke, you could even use this to jump 6 blocks high in some cases. And not to mention that using this properly could also help you to clear horizontal distances as well, making these shields a lot better for traversal than any of us thought. This composter doesn't look like much, but it's actually my base. Don't believe me? Here, I'll show you. If we just step inside and throw an item right into place, a hidden hopper minecart will trigger and cause this redstone machine to push us right into place. And bam, hidden entrance. And while it's hard to notice what's happening from above, this Reddit user's post makes the mechanics a lot more obvious. Just make sure you place this in a village where it makes sense for there to be a composter. Otherwise, this hidden base could just stick out like a sore thumb. Anyone who's ever put together a sweet berry bush farm knows that you gotta keep the foxes away from it. But if we put it in a system like this, we can actually use the mechanic to our benefit. Wouldn't you know that as soon as that sweet berry bush is ready to harvest, that hungry fox will scout it out and get it ready to back down into your hopper minecart. Which is great and all, but it just makes me wish that sweet berries were an actual better food source. Because when they're just this easy to put together, there's no reason I wouldn't want to put one of these in my world if it was practical. In the meantime, unless sweet berries get a boost, I think it's going to be the foxes enjoying this more than us. I use a ladder when you could use a door. Odd as it may seem, all it takes is placing a door in a 2-block hole like so, and we can flip it back and forth to climb ourselves out of a hole. Though why you'd be carrying a door instead of blocks seems unlikely. But this might still be a perfect setup for any kind of escape room concept in the future. I think we've all known that one person who learns how to MLG water bucket and then uses it non-stop. Like, I get it, it's a practical skill, but I don't understand using it to get down from a 4-block drop. So alright, we're both fed up with it, then why don't we teach them a little lesson? But the question we'll have to solve is, how do you stop water? Because really, unless you're in the nether, there are not many ways to stop a water bucket. Unless we take it up a step, by using this upside down step. Since half slabs can be waterlogged, when they try and land, they'll be greeted to their bucket emptying, and no prayer of a clutch save. Leaving you victorious, and them totally confused about what just happened. Getting an elytra is a great thing, but getting to the end cities, not so much. And fortunately for us, it's always tougher to get an elytra when you don't already have an elytra. So to save yourself the headache of building across the end void gaps, why don't we get a bit more technical instead? See, with the help of a flying machine, we can build a vessel perfect for the journey to the outer islands. Now, granted, stopping or turning the ship might be a bit of a problem, but with the proper planning, this could save you from placing thousands of blocks while searching. And if you ask me, I'd much rather take this passive option compared to that. If you're having trouble finding the dead coral for a TNT duplication machine, don't sweat it, just use glass. No joke, even though it's a less popular way of performing this glitch, all it takes is a setup like so using observers to make an equally effective TNT duplication machine. And you might find this could be even more effective on a skyblock world, where coral isn't exactly close by. And in any case, it's just nice to be able to build one of these without having to need silk touch right away. Turtle eggs don't seem to do a lot. Like any baby, these things are quite the liability until they grow up, but that might just be our biggest asset. Since these eggs crack under the simplest bit of pressure, we can make an extremely easy trap. Just sneak one of these little guys under a thing of carpet, then, as soon as any zombie or ne'er-do-well comes by, they'll be met with quite the surprise. One jump and that's it. They'll start tumbling toward their doom, you'll have one less hooligan to worry about. And now you don't have to worry about the egg or the fool. So if you got the silk touch on hand, this might just pave the way for the perfect possibility. Villagers in Minecraft are not a very aggressive bunch, which can make them very fragile to different attacks from mobs. However, using dispensers like so, we can actually give enchanted armor to villagers, and they'll use it. Which means that even though you don't see it, this villager is actually fully equipped with enchanted netherite armor using thorns. But really, where you're going to get the best results from this feature is by mixing your villagers together with Frostwalker. Put them on a large body of water and get ready to see the new hit show, Villagers on Ice. And better yet, it's going to mean that the next time the villagers come through for a raid, they're not going to know what hit them. Oceans are a common obstacle in Minecraft travel, but luckily, boats offer up an easy solution for that. However, these simple ships could really use an upgrade. So if you're looking to become a proper captain on the Seven Seas, maybe use your boat's second seat for a boost. Like, maybe bringing along a witch to offer up some extra artillery support. Because, luckily for us, their potions throw in such an arc that you'll never get hit. Or maybe you're trying to move house, in which case, a llama brings along some extra storage slots for your belongings. And really, whichever you choose, I'm sure it'll be better than just having some lonely trip across the deep blue. What's the difference between this campfire and this one over here? Well, where there's smoke, there's fire. And where there's not, there's string. Sure enough, by using 2 strands of string on top of the campfire like this, we can block any kind of smoke coming out of it, letting us still use this fuel-efficient solution without giving away your location. Think of it as the inverse of the hay bale, turning your smokestack to a smoke lack. Look, at least the trick's better than that pun. When you're heading away for a long trip in the nether, it's always a good idea to pack yourself a snack. This time, I'm actually asking you to go vegetarian, or dandelions to be more specific. You gotta eat a flower. Now look, these don't seem the most appetizing out the gate, but they'll actually make a surprisingly handy ingredient, because while you've been going around making different mushroom stews to fill up in the nether, you could have just added this ingredient and way buffed up the beverage. Since flower type can determine the effect of suspicious stew, using dandelions actually gives you some pretty solid saturation. So, if you're gonna make the bowls anyway, then why not just bring along the special spice and make all of it worth it? If you want to be a pro at Minecraft, then you gotta be able to MLG clutch. But if your reaction time is like mine, then that's disconcerting. It's just not gonna happen. So, a simpler option for us slowpokes is to use chorus fruit instead. Strangely enough, the random teleport feature is actually predictable, or at least predictable enough for us to use. The way it works, it will always teleport you to solid ground. So, if you're in midair off of Shulker's levitation effect, then you can just chomp on one of these and be teleported right back to safety. And look, I'm not gonna lie, it maybe doesn't look as cool as a water bucket save, but being able to survive a deadly fall, I think that's good enough for me. If you're not prepared, the Wither can be a tough opponent, especially on harder difficulties. I mean, at the very least, with 300 HP to its name, taking one down is usually a speedy experience. Or, so you thought. As it turns out, while we've been wasting our time using swords, tridents, and axes to slay the boss, there's actually a much stranger option for victory. By crafting yourself a chunk of these fully powered firework rockets, then that's all that you need to beat the beast in roughly 10 seconds. Though I should know that for safety, it's probably best to spawn it under a bedrock fountain like such, but after you do that, then you can just simply hold down the right-click button and get ready for the harder nether star. If I wanted to fill up this hole with water, it would take hours of my time, or instead, I could just use columns of ice blocks like so, and do it in a few minutes. Sure enough, with the way that the game fills up water, if you build up your ice pillars in a setup like this, and then break them all with a high-efficiency pickaxe, it'll flood this hole in a matter of seconds, which is so much better than having to wait around in a pool and do this all by hand. That much is obvious. Iceboat highways are a popular form of travel, especially when paired with a nether hub of sorts. But while these do make for great speed, they're not always a joy to build. So if you and your friends are tired of riding an unfinished highway, you can always try this. With the right amount of slime blocks and basalt, we can make a fully functional ice tunnel building machine. Now, obviously, the redstone trickery on display here is enough to make your head spin. And frankly, I wouldn't even know to start building one of these. But playing in a proof-of-concept world like this can definitely show off how cool the dream could be. And I think that's worth experiencing. Nether portals are a dream for travel. Surely, being able to teleport anywhere in the world makes transportation a breeze. But going into the nether isn't always a fun trip. So what if we can make portals strictly in the overworld? Well, thanks to ender pearl stasis systems, that is, in some way, possible. After throwing an ender pearl into place at the different locations, all we need is chunk loaders and redstone to connect your overworld portal network. Really, if you've got the time to lay out the redstone, the possibilities with this could be pretty impressive. And once that's figured out, it definitely makes for a snazzy way to get around your base. Now, let me set up the problem for you. You've got a farm where you gotta push mobs into the nether portal. However, as soon as they're there, you can't use something like water to actually get them out of the way, so you're kinda stuck. That is, unless you put any mob inside of a boat in that nether portal. You see, this system utilizes the different boat and mob collisions to do so, and it'll actually push them when you come through the portal, making this a pretty useful thing for when you're trying to move mobs around or using it as a part of your farms. Using this design, it's simple, it's automatic, and most importantly, it's weird. which honestly, I'm fine with all three of those. While Bedrock Edition lets us tie a rope between two fences, Java Edition isn't as nice, which means that in a lot of cases, we don't get to use these ropes as really cool decoration. That is, unless we get creative. Because as you can see, if we tie a lead to a fence and then the other end to a mob like a chicken, we can actually make some pretty cool builds. I mean, look at this! Rope bridges will never be the same again after finding this out. So until Mojang decides to get the rest of us on Java on par with the other people in Bedrock, this is the best way to do it. And I think we'll be tying up chickens with string for a long time being at that rate. Throughout history, Minecraft has had its fair share of cannons. Whether you're caving holes with a TNT launcher or creating a nuisance with a sand cannon, there are plenty of different ways to launch projectiles in the game. And as it turns out, the 1.17 update offers an even newer addition to that category. As I'm sure you know, these dripstone blocks are not to be messed with. But better still is that we're able to launch these using slime blocks and pistons. Even with a small one like this, the momentum that we add in here could be just enough to make the option lethal. So while everyone else is worried about the differences between stalactites and stalagmites, you'll know that their best application truly is as bullets. I want to show you all my new secret base. If you can't see it, that's kind of the point. But as soon as we fly down, you'll be able to see that powdered snow can work perfect for secret aerial entrances, since we can fly through powdered snow without losing our speed in the elytra. But as you notice from this example, the light can still shine through the powdered snow, so make sure not to do this at night. Or if you do, at least light up the rest of the mountain so it's not as obvious. This is a high-speed sorting system, and this is how we use waterlogged sea pickles to make it function. Now, as you'll notice, the unique hitbox, specifically 2 sea pickles placed like so, allows for a water source block to align the items perfectly along the edge of the ice block, meaning that we can still use the ice and water streams for a high-efficiency system without worrying about any kind of item traffic jam. And you can see from this comparison, this system would not work without these 2 sea pickles, which seems a lot more useful than just smelting them into slime dye. Minecarts are a quintessential bit of Minecraft transportation, but while we've all tried to build a roller coaster in the past, I doubt they've looked anything like this, though that might have been our mistake, since as you can see, these new methods can get some crazy speed. For some reason, a curved track like so allows the cart to rocket along the path, and while the non-powered version trails off at a certain point, this Goldilocks option offers both speed and longevity. So if you're trying to build the next travel system for your underground subway, maybe give this thing a go going forward. One of the key parts of speedrunning is a quick Ender Dragon fight. I mean, how are you going to reach the top of the leaderboard if you can't one-cycle this spell? But while most of us think that beds are the fastest way to beat the baddie, there's actually a much stranger option. Leave it to the crazy minds of the Minecraft technical community to make up this monstrosity, the TNT Arrow Launcher, more affectionately referred to as the Rail Cannon. Being able to deal roughly 1,200 points of damage in a single blow, this machine can one-hit the Ender Dragon. And in fact, the only hope that anyone has surviving this thing is a totem of undying. But if you can't cheat death, then this will take you to a swift one. Why do we have so many cauldrons? Well, for Bedrock, these are actually incredibly useful for pixel art. No joke, by placing a bunch of cauldrons next to one another and then dyeing the water inside, it gives you full control over the color palette. And honestly, I think the dark outlines of each cauldron adds to that 8-bit aesthetic. But this is definitely expensive to do, so you might only want to try this in creative. Unless you've got yourself an iron farm that works as well as this one. And folks, the secret here is all thanks to the unlikely block, the campfire. Now, the way that this works is that we have an iron golem killing mechanism that uses a small spawning platform and a campfire so that the golem can't move away from the campfire and it'll constantly get hit. And thanks to its small size and low cost, it could be made really early into your world. So while it's not as efficient as something like this designed by Tango Tech, much like using a campfire versus a blast furnace, it is a great thing to have when you're starting out. Killing a bunch of chicken with an enchanted diamond sword is a lot of fun. But if you're a busy person, you don't have a lot of time in your hands to do that. So luckily for you, you're actually able to hire a bit of help and pass off that job to a fox. Just like that, they'll take your sword and put it to use against all those different chickens, giving you a fully automatic chicken farm. Anyone who's ever messed around with the technical side of Minecraft is well and familiar with the concept of a mob switch. That is, you get a bunch of withers in a cage, make sure they don't despawn, and know who hostile mobs are going to be giving you trouble. It's a great system, but it's definitely costly. So a simpler and safer option to do is instead having a zombie villager mob switch. You see, if you trade with a villager and then zombify it, this will make them both unable to despawn and also count towards the mob cap. This is actually a great way to put zombie villagers to use, and in turn, actually keep all other villages safe. Who doesn't love roller coasters? No one I want hanging around with, that's for sure. And it's because of this mutual love of roller coasters that I'm sure we've all tried to set up a throw ride once or twice. But the real test is what your friends think. Though it's pretty boring to just set them off and wait till they get back. So,
I
to make
thought
that
the
journey a
reward
bit
was
more
unlocked
immersive, why not upgrade your
better.
ride? You see, since minecarts can pick up entities
just
and
actually
boats happen to
avoided
be
it?
entities, you can essentially make a two-person seater minecart to ride the rails. So not only do you get a goofy ride to go
Save
around
much
in,
more
but you
ammo
can also
that
build
way.
up some surprising propulsion by rowing the boat, which I think we all can agree are pretty great things. Water elevators have become a staple in Minecraft builds. After all, it's quite handy to have a seamless elevator to go from point A to point B, but they don't always fit in with the aesthetic. So to solve that issue, what if we didn't have to see the elevator while using it? Strange as that sounds, it's actually possible. By using honey blocks like so, the hitbox is just small enough to let us ride the water elevator, but not actually enter the bubble stream. So if we put something like item frames and map art on the outside, we get an invisible elevator, all without sacrificing our build's look. Sometimes you don't have the heart to say something to someone's face, but that doesn't have to keep you from sending the message. By just waxing particular parts of the copper wall, then you guarantee that eventually they're gonna get the message, which clearly could lead to some pretty innovative prank ideas. I'm sure that your brain's already lit up with all the different designs to leave at your friend's face. So while I don't exactly endorse writing mean things for your friends to find, I can't doubt its efficacy. Meaning if you've got the honeycomb on hand, this might just pave the way for your perfect crime, or at the very least, a perfect punchline.
Hey,
Minecraft servers are bound to have their share of lag, which can sometimes be annoying, but also allow for great things like this. See, with the way the connection lag works, we can use the rubber banding in some way to slingshot ourselves forward. So if you have the wings needed, you can ride that connection current to get some impressive momentum. All that needs to happen is that we hit the ground, double tap space, and then keep a sine wave motion of sorts to keep going. And like that, we have the capabilities to bounce across the Minecraft scenery. So if you've played enough Super Mario World, that cave feather practice is finally going to pay off. Here's how to easily explore the ocean. Since while it's tough to see what's underwater from above, if you're sitting in a boat and then move your camera angle slightly down so that it clips into the water, there's a perfect angle where the game doesn't darken what you see below. And there you go, you'll be able to easily see all the blocks illuminated beneath you, giving you a quick way to find any kind of shipwrecks that lie below. And that could be helpful for a speedrun, or for the next time that you're trying to find a heart of the sea. Horses are a lot of fun to ride around, but as soon as you take one to a body of water, you know you're out of luck. I mean, if you're ankle deep, you're fine, but that's the most you're gonna get. Unless, of course, you manage to luck out during a thunderstorm, because then you can get a skeleton horse. And folks, with one of these skeletal steeds and the right amount of potions, you can actually travel underwater riding a skeleton horse. It's a weird form of travel, and I definitely don't see it happening much, but really, how cool does it look to just go down in the depths of one of these things? If nothing else, just take a screenshot of yourself and put it on a metal album. You've only got yourself one bucket of water, but you still need an infinite water source. Just wait for nighttime, since if you kill a skeleton and get some bone meal, you can use that to create seagrass, which if you grow seagrass inside of flowing water, it'll turn that into a full water source block. So whether you're playing in a desert, on a skyblock island, or you just don't want to craft another bucket, a bit of bone meal will solve your problem just the same. Instead of growing your sugarcane on dirt or sand, here's why you should use mud instead. See, mud isn't a full block in size, meaning that items can pass through it like soul sand. But we can also grow our sugarcane on top like normal, and that allows us to make this really simple design for a sugarcane farm that's completely lossless, which means we won't lose any of our sugarcane gains this way. Every crop broken is one that we profit off of, and that lets us create an easy design that can stack in all three dimensions. Simple as that. The Frostwalker enchantment is a hard one to justify. After all, adding this to your boots means you're locking yourself out of some more valuable choices like Depth Strider. But say you've already got a pair of shoes with the enchantment, then why don't we make the most of it? Now, the two key ingredients that we need to add here are Riptide Trident and a rainstorm overhead. Then, once we've got those, we've got the right conditions to slip and slide our way across the ocean. Simply spam the Riptide Trident, and we'll launch ourselves right across the ice highways. And hey, this might even allow your friend to follow behind in a boat, meaning that both parties can enjoy the ride. I think we all can agree the channeling enchantment's pretty great. For one, not only is it fun to summon lightning like your last name is Odinson, but that very lightning allows you to change and manipulate different mobs. So when you're fed up with typical mushrooms and you're looking for a change, well, man, it's great, but obviously all that lightning can get pretty dangerous. So if you're trying to do your magic without all the pain of electrocution, maybe try this. You see, by placing down an item frame, all you have to do is zap that, and the job gets done the same way. Except this time, no one's getting hurt in the process. Which is nice, because really, there's no point in converting a corpse. Few things in Minecraft are truly unbreakable. I mean, even bedrock can be broken in some form, and that's the unbreakable block. But while we might stand a chance of breaking blocks when we stand on steady ground, it's a different story when they're on the move. Through the help of flying machines, it's possible to make a proper working flying cage trap to take your enemies right up to build limit. But what we really should mention here is that by using blocks such as honeycomb that can't be easily mined, they'll be in for a bad time. As you can see, as the blocks keep moving, break time keeps resetting. So if your foe doesn't have the proper kit to break it down, they'll be stuck on the one-way journey no hope in sight. In life, you got a few essential pairings: the sun and the moon, peanut butter and jelly, and if you ask Bugs Bunny, rabbits and carrots. The way that rabbits work in Minecraft is that they'll try to come near you when you're holding a carrot, which means that with a system like this, you can actually build a rabbit carrot detector for secret entrances. It makes for an extremely weird concept, but if you're willing to carry around a couple extra carrots, those might come in handy if you forget your keys inside the base once again. I guess the only ones who don't benefit here are actually the rabbits, because after all that hard work, they're still not going to be able to get the carrot. Foxes, as we know, are pretty versatile mobs. While they're great for harvesting different farms, the only pesky thing is that they like to sleep. And while that would make most fox-powered farms pretty much unusable, we can actually solve that by keeping another mob nearby. You see, if we have something like a chicken, for example, next to this fox, then it'll just keep doing whatever we want to and never sleep as long as it's near. But if after all the work is done and you finally want to let your hard worker get some rest, just kill the chicken up top and it'll go immediately to sleep. And you know what? For the kind of graveyard shifts that we've been putting in lately, I think that's completely well deserved. Plants can really liven up a Minecraft build, which is why you'll see plenty of different pro builders using this in their base. But while the shrubs and stuff definitely add to the aesthetic, they're not exactly cooperative. And trust me, it's going to be quite the pain just having to plant and replant this one thing just to get it to the right height. So if you're tired of your crops getting a bit too big for their britches, then don't sweat it. There's actually a way to tie this together. By placing string along the top of certain plants, you can actually make sure that they stay at that height for the rest of history. No joke, all you need is one piece of thread and it works like an Everstone. All evolution stops dead in its tracks, and you don't have to worry about it any other way. Anyone who's ever tried to build something organic knows that it's very tough to get builds to look natural. Or as natural as they could look in a game made out of blocks, I guess. But for a thought experiment, say that you want to build an island in the creative world. How do you go about it? Well, if you're like me, then you're looking for the easy way out. And in that case, I'd like to delegate this job to our good friends Grass Mycelium. Set up both of these on a plain dirt canvas, and essentially you can watch a Splatoon turf war take place in real time. And then, after the battle is done, just replace the mycelium with water, and like that, you've got a fully formed island. Or, at the very least, a very solid foundation that you can build off of. And they're not always the easiest to kill. And while the teleporting might be fine in a desert or plains biome, when you're fighting them in the end, the last thing you want is to get sneak attacked. So, to cut their magic show short, all we need is 5 planks and a plant. After we craft a boat, all we need to do is place that right down next to an enderman, and that sucker will be locked right into place. No joke, as long as you don't break the boat, you're free to slice, dice, and slay the foe with no hassle to you. I mean, they do still have pretty massive arms, so I wouldn't recommend getting too close to the bash zone, but as long as you keep you and your axe out of harm's way, then I think you'll find this works pretty well. Don't have a compass? Well, just use a crafting table. No joke, as this user shows, if we just open up the crafting guide inside of a crafting table, we can see the compass sprite. But the thing is, this still updates real time, even if it's just in the crafting book. Meaning we can save ourselves the iron ingots and redstone, and instead just use 4 wooden planks for a cheaper compass. Instead of just heading off to bed and hoping that your villagers make it through the night, you should let your villagers know by ringing the village bell that you placed ever so conveniently next to your bed. That's right, the bell isn't just there to notify you about all future uploads. Thank you, by the way. It can also be triggered by redstone. Meaning with a simple pressure plate setup like this, you ring the bell once at night for the villagers to run to their homes, and then once again to make sure that they stay in their houses a little longer in the morning. That way, any zombies that are outside can burn away, and we'll all be safe indoors. Anyone who's had the misfortune of stepping a bit too close to a bed in the nether knows that these suckers can pack quite the punch. And while that can be useful to kill dragons in the end, it's not as applicable for getting rid of your friends in the overworld. So, if you're having trouble getting your enemies through the portal, there is still another avenue. While, yes, sped explosions are pretty deadly, they aren't unmatched. As it goes, using an end crystal or respawn anchor in the overworld gives you an equal amount of force. And on hard mode, that's going to be a lot of damage. But look, I won't lie, getting one of these set up isn't nearly as easy or cheap as a bed. But late game, it might just be a perfect crime. Elytras are a great form of Minecraft travel, but that's not news to anybody. Though without the proper fireworks, this great invention becomes a failure to launch. But it turns out that all we need is some claustrophobia, and we can shoot off right to the skies. See, Minecraft does something called entity cramming, which happens when enough mobs are packed into a single space. And while there's a limit to this, if we use just one mob less than that in a 1x1 space, we can get some serious propulsion. Apparently, all the little nudges from the various mobs adds up to be a punch of speed for our Elytra takeoff, giving us the tight squeeze needed to reach the horizon. If you have to travel over slime blocks, don't walk, but sneak instead. Since by using the Swift Sneak 3 enchantment on your leggings, we can go nearly double the speed of walking, which granted still isn't that fast, but it's a lot better than the alternative. So silly as it may seem, if you find yourself getting chased, maybe build a bridge with slime blocks instead, so you can keep some distance between you and your pursuers. Okay, hear me out. Pufferfish have a lot more going on than you think. Well, sure, most of us might only care about these things for the water-breathing potions we brew. That's not the whole picture. Actually, that's about the only positive they offer up. So the rest of the time, they're a tool for evil. Don't believe me? Well, let's put that small hitbox to use, and I'll show you. By tucking a bunch of these poisonous pests underneath the trapdoor, we're fully capable of making a sneaky floor weapon. So if you want to keep some of those house guests from going out of line, then just throw a couple of these into the floor plan, and the message will be clear. I don't think any of us want to get on a bee's bad side. For one, they're just so adorable that you probably don't want to hurt one anyway, but that's not to mention that they can also carry quite a stinger. So, to change their offensive capabilities to defensive, how about we make ourselves a bee army? With this swarm, all it takes is an enemy to be hit by one mistake, and the damage will be done. And folks, if you can believe it, these things can even take down the Wither. Now sure, you'll need a lot of them, and it would probably help to splash them with a Strength 2 potion, but the point still stands that this buzzing battalion can wreck through anything you throw at them. And maybe next time, they'll want to stay on your good side. The new nether step blocks are a great addition, except for when you're trying to smelt something. Unlike regular logs, these can't be used as fuel in a furnace. They don't burn with flint and steel, so why should a furnace be any different? But this intentional piece of game design might just have an unintentional workaround. If instead you take those logs out of the furnace and into a crafting grid, then we can craft them into sticks, which by themselves would work as a fuel source. But we can actually do one better. Folks, by crafting those very sticks and the ladders, now we're actually getting the best bang for our buck when it comes to smelting. Which I've got to say is a big improvement when the alternative was not smelting anything at all. Unless you're using mods, Minecraft doesn't really experiment too much with turrets. I mean, you've got dispensers with arrows, but those are pretty limited in their direction. Really, if you're trying to defend your base from any intruders coming too close, you gotta build a couple of Guardian turrets. It only takes one look at these to see just how menacing these things can be. I mean, step too close, boom, you're targeted on, and it's gonna be a world of pain coming your way. Making the Guardians from Minecraft way more like the Guardians from Zelda, turning them into way more of a Hyrule castle. Personally, I love that kind of thing. Redstone is one of my favorite parts of Minecraft, but circuitry isn't exactly a looker. Now, that doesn't discount its personality. I'm sure what's on the inside counts, but to our builder friends, it's all about outward appearances. So, in that case, how about we find ourselves a happy middle ground? I wasn't aware of this until recently, but you can actually throw down item frames atop a redstone dust. Meaning, if you added a colored map of your choice, then you can effectively cover up your tracks. Now obviously, if you're using a bunch of these item frame and map combos, I do have to warn some potential lag. But if you got yourself a beefy computer, then I'd be hard-pressed to say this isn't worth a shot. Here's how we use a pig for x-ray hacks. Now that sounds crazy, but I'm not joking. If you get on top of a saddled pig and then clip your head into the middle of some blocks, then once you're inside the roof, you'll be able to see all the cave systems light up above you. Worth mentioning is that you have to ride your head into a tunnel of slabs for this to work. That way you'll be inside a transparent block, which can keep you safe, and that'll cause the game to glitch out and actually let you see everything above you. And if you have that unlocked, there should be a quick way to get to the next cave system. Villagers can be a great asset in your Minecraft world, but regardless of how respectable they are with emeralds, these fellows are not the most commendable when it comes to the overworld. And even though their AI is a lot more similar to sheep than Steve, they're nowhere near as easy to corral. So if you two are looking for a trading hall that doesn't have to turn into a kangaroo market, this might be the time to sweeten the deal. Honey blocks, as I'm sure you know, are great for keeping different mobs and entities stuck in place. So the next time that you build a villager's desk, maybe just tuck one of these under the floor mat. That way they won't be able to jump out of dodge, and you'll be able to keep them still for the entire shift. Or if you're not a fan of loud noises, these azalea bushes can also keep monsters at bay. Because of the way that the mob's pathfinding AI works, they can't jump over azalea bushes. But obviously, we can do that just fine. So if you're looking for a prettier alternative to the carpeted fence trick, this hedge maze is definitely worth a shot. And thankfully, these don't automatically grow to azalea trees, meaning that this fenceless defense is here to stay. Planting trees around your base can really bring a build together, especially if you design something custom. That is, let's say your friend comes by and decides to break the bottom 2 logs of the tree trunk for a craft. And now, all you got is a bunch of eyesores. Well, to solve that problem, let's teach you a one-time lesson that the Lorax would even approve of. By setting up an observer system like such, we can have it so that when they break the log, the chop gets recognized, and then an explosion takes care of the rest. And better yet, by using TNT minecarts in this way, the detonation gets to near instantaneous levels. So, whichever log they take from you, we can make sure it'll be there last. Honey blocks are clearly a useful tool. Whether you want to keep your villagers in place, mobs out of your base, or flying machine through space, these do the trick just fine. But their sticky qualities can just as easily be turned to the dark side. See, with the advent of lava coolant 1.17, we can pair these two concepts together and make a particularly sinister trap. Since honey blocks make jumping so difficult, we throw one of these under a lava cauldron, suddenly the player's no longer able to escape. And with that, the seemingly harmless block becomes one that you gotta look out for. So, if you're trying to feel like a bond villain, this might just be your next interrogation technique. Other fish tend to scare really easily. One step too close to